Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. Today what we're going to be doing is a review of the Dunlop Sportmax Roadsport 2. And I have this tyre on my 2011 Honda CBF1000 that I've done around about 3,500 miles on since I bought it. Now that is not a huge amount of mileage for me, but given lockdown circumstances it's done a bit. And I have ridden it in varied weather conditions throughout. So I've had it on nice dry roads, crappy, slimy, salty roads, and obviously in the rain because it's Ireland, so of course I have ridden in the rain. Now what I want to talk about first is the grip in the wet and dry, and also the braking in the wet and dry, as that's kind of what sprung out at me first. So first we'll start with the dry performance. They are an exceptionally good tyre in the dry. When I first bought the bike, it was dry, it was the summertime, and I immediately had plenty of confidence on the bike. Never once did I feel like the brakes and tyres were gonna, let me down. But a huge part of braking performance that people don't really realise is the quality of your tyre. The stickier the tyre, the better your brakes actually still work. If you have really hard solid tyres, not only will you not have good grip in the corners, but you also will have really poor brake performance. So since I bought this bike, like I said, is that a scratch? Bad scratch. Since I bought this bike, I've done quite a bit of riding in the dry and wet since I bought it in the end of our summer coming into our winter. So not really an option. It has been ridden in all of the seasons that were posed to it, and it's performed pretty well. So straight off the bat, I would say that this is definitely a more dry weather tyre, biased tyre, but I think that's the same with pretty much every motorcycle tyre on offer, until you go to the likes of the Road Pilots and the Road Tech 01s from Metzeler and Michelin. But for Dunlop, I rode with the Dunlop Road Smart 2 for years, not the Sportmax Roadsport, just the Roadsport, and I did like it, but this is a step up. And while you might think that the more sports touring-y biased tyre in the Roadsport, just the standard Roadsport, would perform better in the wet, it really doesn't. So the grip in the dry, brilliant. Honestly, like a huge amount of confidence going into corners, huge amount of confidence going fast into corners. And I have used the entirety of the back tyre in dry weather, not so much in wet weather, but that's just because I'm not insane. I know there are some heroes out there who'll get their knee down in the wet, but that's not me, and it'll never be me because I would probably run out of talent pretty quickly. But yeah, other than that, the braking in the dry, also exceptional. I think the grip and braking kind of go hand in hand. But also, I will say, while the grip feel in the wet isn't the best I've ever had in a tyre, it does grip. It just doesn't feel like it's gripping. So that is you have to kind of learn that. You have to kind of learn the points that you're going like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like how that felt. Which is a bit of a learning curve, because you kind of have to know then when it's not so good, but then you can also know that it is good. You can learn to trust the tyre, so that's important to keep good tyres on your bike as well. The one thing I will say is the braking in the wet, I think, is where these tyres are let down. Like if I was to rate them all out of 5, grip and braking in the dry, quite happily I'd give them a 5. Grip in the wet, probably a 4. Braking in the wet, probably 3.5. It's all about the feel, and I know I've spoken about it a lot in previous videos. I am big on feel in brakes. It's important to me. It's important to me. So yeah, braking in the wet, not the best. And now I feel like we should talk about price. I didn't actually pay for these myself. Technically, I bought them on the bike. So I bought this bike from Franklin Motorcycles in Dublin, and whoever selected the tyres up there, I think, did a great job. But I did look up online, and if you were to buy these directly, not fitted, they are 125 for the rear and 97 for the front. So call it 125 for the rear, 100 for the front. You're probably about right. And then obviously add on your usual charges to actually get the tyre fitted locally or whatever else. But really, for me, cannot complain. I think that's a very good price for the tyre that's in it. They're definitely a better tyre than say your mid-range. They probably are classed as a mid-range, but from the grip, and I have S22s on the Gixxer, which are definitely like a higher rated tyre. They're a sportsy tyre, but For me, I have just as much confidence on regular road riding with these Sportmaxes as I do with the S22s on regular road riding. That's probably related to my talent, but I do think the feel and the grip of the feel and all that is definitely there in these two. So yeah, I would recommend them if you're looking for these to put on your CBF, particularly because I've tried them on a CBF. 100% recommended. I will put another set of these on unless I just decide to try something else to do a review on it, because I mean, I need to do content. So then we want to talk about longevity. How long do I think these tires are going to last? So like I said, I've done about 3,500 miles or about 5,000 kilometers odd, and the rear tire is actually performing quite well. I used to get about 9,000 kilometers out of a rear on my Phaser for the Roadsmart 2s, and by the time I sold the Phaser, the Metzeler Rotex 01 that I had on it were probably about... They were getting there. They're definitely getting there, and they had about 7,500 kilometers on them. So I usually do expect at least 9,000. And judging off this tire, I think it's actually going to last longer. Now, bearing in mind that this tire has also done plenty of two-up riding with myself and Toaster, and it's a heavier bike, and I'm a heavy person. So really and truly, I'm quite impressed with the fact that they're not squaring off too much at the 5,000 kilometer mark. So I would definitely expect them to get to the 9,000 kilometer and probably exceed it. What helps that is it is a 160 profile rear, so that's 160 is the width of your tire, and it is a 160, which means it does have a little bit more rigidity, I suppose, in the actual curvature. You know, it's not as prone to flattening because of its width. So I'll keep people updated on Instagram or something if anyone wants to know, and obviously I will let you all know when I do eventually change these tires, how long they went for. But I think, personally for me, well impressed with the longevity so far. Really, you can't complain. They're lasting very well. In the front, I usually get about 3 front tires or 3 rear tires to 1 front tire, because, you know, I go everywhere in the back with it. No, I don't. I use both of my tires, but it's probably due to my weight. I definitely am a lot harder on the rear. I know some people use 2 to 1. I'm generally 3 to 1. And oftentimes after my second tire, I'll just change the front as well, because it does start to go off a bit. And always check that. Always make sure that your tires are actually new when they're going on, that they haven't been sitting on a shelf for 4 years and gone off, because that sucks. I did get a set before of my Dunlop Roadsmart 2s, which were definitely gone a bit hard, and honestly, they tried to kill me twice. So check the date stamp on your tire. I'll actually show you how you do that right now. Okay, so I really hope you'll be able to see that, but that 4-digit code there, right there, what it says is 4418, and 4418 means the 44th week 2018. That's how you check the tire manufacturing date. So that's how you check that. It's the 44th week of the 18th year. It's usually just a 4-digit code somewhere on your tire. So that's it really. I don't think I need to go on too much more about a set of tires. I will say, you know, for the price, I think it's a very good price. I'll happily buy them again if they're you know, around there plus fitting. The feel on the road is excellent in the dry, in the wet, but they're good in the wet, definitely passable. And I think for me, most people ride in the dry most of the time, so they're definitely good enough for your 80% dry riding and your 20% wet riding. And always put your balance together. If you're 50-50, you probably would want to go for a more wet road orientated tire, but if you're mainly riding in the dry, these are fantastic tires, especially like I said, for the CBF, because I've tested them on the CBF, so I can confidently say I would more than happily put them back onto this bike. Other things to note, like durability, like I said, they seem fairly standard for me. I do predict they'll last longer than average, say, for some of the tires I would have had on there. Price is good, feel is good, brake is good, they're good at speed, they're just good tires. And I mean, they look nice, you know what I mean? The pattern on tires is important. They do look nice. They don't look as good as slicks, but they look nice. So if you have watched, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I do appreciate it. It does help me stay motivated to make more videos. If this is your first time here, let me know in the comments. Number one, hello, welcome. And also check out the rest of my videos. I have like 200 and something. I'm not sure. It's over 200 anyway. So if you like motorcycle stuff, do give that a look. Please, I would appreciate it. And of course, if you found this video helpful, also let me know in the comments. I do like to hear that my videos have helped someone. It's nice. It's like that self-pat in the back feel. I don't know what you describe it as. It's nice though. And as always, a very special thank you to my patrons. You're all legends, and I do appreciate all of the support you give the channel. And let me know if you have gotten your stickers yet, which actually by the time you see this video, you definitely have not gotten them because I sent them today. So let me know if they do arrive though. Mucho apreciado. And yes, until next time, thank you very much again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. Have you ever tried Sportmax Roadsport 2s? And if you have, what did you think of them? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Yeah. Oh, I miss riding bikes so bloody much. You know that? I'm fair sick of not just being able to go off 400 to 400 kilometers a day at the weekend. Make this end, please.